Tara Carpenter, a high schooler, is home alone and texting her friend, Amber Freeman, 25 years after Billy Loomis and Stu Macher startled the town of Woodsboro. The landline rings and Tara is confronted by a brutal caller, who forces her to answer horror trivia by threatening Amber's life. Ghostface breaks into the house when she gets a question wrong, and attacks Tara, jabbing her multiple times and breaking her leg. Tara gets badly wounded but survives the attack. Tara's friend and classmate Wes Hicks apprise her older sister Sam Carpenter about the attack. Sam, accompanied by her boyfriend Richie, returns to Woodsboro. Tara is at the hospital, offering to stay until she recovers. Meanwhile, Wes' mother, Sheriff Judy Hicks, assemble the rest of their friend group, Amber, twin siblings Chad and Minty Meeks Martin, and Liv McKenzie, for investigation. Richie, who is unfamiliar with the Stab franchise or its connection to Woodsboro, spends the majority of the hospital visit with Sam catching up on the franchise on YouTube to inform himself of the rules the killer may follow, while another video discloses Kirby Reed survived the events 11 years earlier. After a fight with Ghostface in the hospital cafeteria, Sam, who encounters hallucinations of Billy Loomis, reveals to Tara that he is her biological father, the reason why she left town and became incongruous with her. Meanwhile, Liv's summer fling Vince Schneider is troubled and assassinated by Ghostface outside of a bar. Sam and Richie visit an isolated Dewey Riley, who has been in a bad place ever since his divorce from Gail Weathers. The two ask for his help against the killer, but he refuses and kicks them out. However, Dewey changes his mind, contacts Sidney Prescott and Gail, and joins the teens at Minty and Chad's home. As they try to expose the connection between the killer and Sam, Vince is declared to be Stu's nephew. With the three attacks being on people related in some capacity to the original killers, Sam is implicated as being the killer and angrily departs. Meanwhile, Ghostface assassinates Judy and her son as Sam and Dewey arrive on the scene. Sam and Dewey hurry to the hospital when they realize that Tara is at risk. At the hospital, Tara and Richie are charged by Ghostface, who is apparently killed by Dewey. Sam, Tara, and Richie escape, but Dewey stays in an attempt to ensure Ghostface is dead and is himself murdered. Sidney returns to Woodsboro and reunites with Gail at the hospital upon learning of Dewey's death. Sidney seeks Sam's help to take down the killer, but she refuses, choosing to leave Woodsboro with Richie and Tara instead. Sidney, having placed a tracker on Richie's car, follows the trio with Gail to Amber's, disclosed to be Stu's old house. As the party is in progress to honor Wes' memory, Liv tries to have sex with Chad, but he refuses and alleges her of being the killer, but later makes his way outside to apologize, where he is seemingly murdered by Ghostface. Minty is also attacked, but Sam interferes and manages to avert Ghostface. As the group blames each other for being Ghostface, Amber shoots and kills Liv, declaring herself as the killer. The rest of the group scatter. When Gail and Sidney arrive, Amber imitates injury, but Sidney nor Gail believes her and Amber shoots Gail before running back inside. Sidney runs after her and searches for Amber, who is now disguised as Ghostface. As Sidney continues to search the house, she accidentally injures Richie, who is hiding. Ghostface attacks Richie before throwing himself and Sidney over the railing and onto the ground floor. Sam is astonished to see Richie alive, but he declares himself as Tara's attacker and Amber's associate, stabbing her. Amber and Richie take Sam, Sidney, and Gail into the kitchen, revealing they are excessively dedicated fans of the Stab series, disappointed in its trajectory and wishing to renovate the franchise with a new killing rampage to act as source material and defend fans from the toxic fandom label they feel they have unjustly received. Amber goes to rescue the captured Tara but is attacked by her, having been untied by Sam. This diverts Richie long enough for Sidney and Sam to briefly overcome him. Sidney and Gail fight Amber while Sam fights Richie. Gail shoots Amber, who lands on the stove and is lit aflame before she is shot dead by Tara. Richie barbs a seemingly helpless Sam, but she regains Amber's knife and stabs Richie multiple times in the chest and neck before shooting him with his own gun. Sarah
we're gonna
and
finish
the
this.
Meeks twins, who actually
Go
survived,
finish it, Sydney.
are taken to the hospital as Sam and Sydney appeal for their health. Gail, refusing to report about the new murders to not give the killer's infamy, plans instead to write a warm tribute about Dewey. Several media reporters descend on the house and start reporting about the murders. At the end of the film, a tribute to Wes Craven is shown with the words "For Wes" as the credits begin to roll.